With a little more than a year till the 2016 election, this cycle is already defined by its protest candidates. Those are presidential hopefuls who are very different from the more traditional type of candidate with more mainstream views or years in other political positions. CBS 2 News reporter Kevin Barry picks up the story from OSKALOOSA.
On the Republican side, the best-known protest candidate is Donald Trump. But for the Democrats, even after 35 years in politics, some people think Senator Bernie Sanders is on the outside looking in, but he disagrees.
We're going to do something extremely radical, which is to practice democracy. How's that?
There's no denying it. When Bernie Sanders first jumped into the presidential race, he was just as far behind Hillary Clinton as everybody else, with single-digit polling in the early states.
I thought from the very beginning that we had a shot to win this thing. We came in clearly as an underdog.
And one who freely calls himself a socialist. But in the Democratic debate, he said all he'd have to do is explain what that means. How do you explain that to people when so many people are turned off at the door by hearing socialist?
That's a great question, and we're going to have to focus on that issue. I think, number one, we are going to give a major speech on that within a couple of weeks. Defining what I mean.
He points to programs like Social Security and public libraries that already embody those technically socialist ideas.
So I think there is something to be learned from other countries just as they learned from us, and that's kind of what I'll talk about.
So while the idea of protest candidates who are picking up support from people fed up with the establishment might be the phrase of the 2016 run for the White House, Sanders says it no longer applies to him.
If the election were today, no question we would not win. But I think the momentum and the energy is with us. And I think we have gone from being a quote-unquote fringe candidate to being a candidate who stands a good chance to win this.
Coming up tonight on the CBS 2 News 10 at 10, Senator Sanders weighs in on the impact that he thinks college students can have in November of 2016. In OSKALOOSA, Kevin Barry, CBS 2 News.